welcome to this episode of Hear It From a Huskie. I'm Dr. Laurie Fiorenza, and today I am joined by 3 staff members who have coordinated our Civics Service Learning Fair. Welcome, gentlemen. Can you introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Matt Maloney. I'm the instructional coach for climate and culture and a member of the history division.
I'm Steve Schwarz. I teach history and civics.
And I'm Brian Dubina. I'm the pre-vocational education coordinator.
Welcome. Thank you all for joining me today.
Thank you.
So could you guys tell us a little bit about the Service Learning Fair and really the Civics Service Learning projects? Kind of what inspired you and where did you go with those?
So I taught civics for the first time last year and found that the civics service learning component, which is a state mandate, was something that students lacked certain resources and connections and knowledge of organizations in our community and ways of doing it. So we kind of came up with this idea for a fair, kind of like the job fair Brian runs, and Steve and I had been working together since we taught civics for the first time. And we thought about kind of being inspired by that job fair model to bring the organizations here to provide all of our students with access and essentially laying a foundation, creating that first connection for them. So that way it would turn service learning into more of a passion project.
And you've done this twice this year, correct? Can you say a little bit about how it went?
We think both went really well. I mean, the first was kind of the trial run in a sense. And another component of it was that we invited local leaders, state representatives, local philanthropic leaders into a panel discussion in which students were able to ask Q&A. And we kind of adapted it and expanded that out a little bit for the second time around. But like first semester, we had people like Congressman Danny Davis, also State Rep Camille Lilly,
Don Harmon. We had LaShawn Ford, who's also a state representative. Those were some of the heavy hitters on the state level. And then from local level, we had Vicki Skaman, president of Oak Park, first semester, and second semester, Kathy Aducey, the president of River Forest.
Yeah, and as far as the fair itself, we had about 20 organizations the first time around, and we kind of expanded it out to 25. So we're learning more about the community, and which more and more organizations are now coming through and reaching out to us, not just us reaching out to them. So it's generating a good vibe in the community, and I think it's really cool that the students are connecting with these organizations and these politicians and the networking. And it's just, I think it's a really cool sort of like process, the whole thing.
So is the hope that they connect at the fair and then are able to do some of their service learning with the people that they've made the connections with?
For some students, the agencies already have in mind what they need. So students can talk directly to that person or that agency and ask more specific questions about what are you looking for?
Sure.
For other organizations, they're just looking for what students are passionate about, and they want to match what the student wants to do with what they need. And so they can develop what that is. For some agencies, they're lacking on social media presence. And so if a student is good at that and passionate about this topic, that could be a place for them to work together. Or a student may want to do a one-time event where they spend the whole day at an agency working at a fundraiser or something like that. And if that's what the agency needs, then that works out too. So ideally, every student will find something they're interested in, and some students will walk away knowing what they're going to do for their service learning hours.
That's wonderful. It also sounds like there's a real mutual benefit, a benefit for the organizations and the community and a benefit for our students.
Yeah, even the organizations just like coming and presenting themselves. Even if they don't get volunteers, they've told me just having students know we exist and that this is something we do, this is a resource or an opportunity out there. And future careers, these are things that students could do as a job in the future. And just having awareness that this exists as an option is a benefit for the agencies and the students.
Yeah, I really think it creates a tighter community. And, I mean, OPRF is really the center of the community. So bringing these agencies in, I think, is a wonderful sort of networking and just creating more of a presence in the community and also making those connections so it elevates everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are the benefits of high school service learning projects for students in terms of like how they develop, how they engage with the community, the skills that they acquire? What is the benefit of the service learning?
I think from what I've heard from my students is the sense of giving back, the sense of feeling as though they're part of something bigger than themselves, that they're also, for many, following their passions or something that aligns with their values and their interests, but it could become so much bigger than that. Rather it just be volunteering, it could turn into a job opportunity, or it might even shift their focus for future career paths. So it's just a great way, I think, for our students to see the amazing work that's done in both communities and in some of the communities just outside Oak Park River Forest that we invited as well, to really kind of show the bridges that we hope to create between our communities and our surrounding communities as well.
I think also they develop communication skills because, we give them the opportunity, in a sense, and establish a platform for them to reach out to an agency that's visiting us, but they also have to follow through and coordinate, and it gets them motivated, and those soft skills of just how to work with others and do something beyond yourself, I think is really important, and I think the kids take a lot from them.
How do you guys see the Service Learning Fair growing, changing? And do you have any ideas about how you might modify anything next year? Or are you just going to roll with it the same way?
Well, I know this year was unique because 2/3 of the civics sections were first semester. So we had over 550 students attend that fair. And just due to some of the space and logistics, we had to have a different format first semester. And then this semester, we had only 1/3 of the section. So it allowed us to expand a bit. So I think we're going to kind of look at those two and see if we can create kind of a new model that might provide more time for first semester students. That's some of the feedback we received. And also maybe even discussing ways to bring in Oak Park River Forest clubs that do service learning as well to kind of show students they don't have to leave the building to also have an impact.
Yeah, and also Camille Lilly, our local state representative, is one of the sponsors of the law that made civics education a requirement for high school students in Illinois. And I think she's going to take it back to Springfield and sort of spread the word. So as far as panelists are concerned, we're looking to reach out. I mean, we've reached out to Senator Durbin and Senator Duckworth's office. And I think the more buzz this generates down in Springfield and the local community, I think we will start attracting those politicians and have a sort of that rotation of different people coming in representing different constituencies and, making it a really diverse experience as far as, different people coming in.
How can community members get involved?
They're welcome to contact the school, any teacher or any contact they have. They can email me directly, and I can try to filter them into whoever it is that they need to connect with.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing this. And thanks for the commitment to service learning and our students and the community bridging that together. It's amazing.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Hear It from a Huskie. Stay tuned for more from our Huskie faculty making an impact.